G'day guys, how's it going? Thought I'd do a quick little rundown of this exhaust that I've put on the Tenere 700 in case anyone else is like me and doesn't want to spring the $1,000, $1,200, whatever it is for the aftermarket Acro. So it's very cheap system. You're looking at about $120 Australian for the entire setup that I've got here. Basically you're looking at a mid pipe and the old eBay Acro, which I'll put links for both those in the description. I got the mid pipe from Amazon. This one I think I got from eBay, but they also have them on Amazon. And this is the stock heat shield. So any of you guys that have Teneres will know the stock pipe actually sounds pretty good, but it is a heavy unit, and you know, great sound is in the ears of the beholder. Not everyone's going to like the sound of this setup, but personally I think this opens it up a bit and gives it that nice 270 degree crank twin sound. Releases it a bit more than the stock pipe does. So anyhow, I weighed the full stock tailpipe. You're looking at around about 4.7 kilos. So it is quite heavy. This the can itself weighs about 1.1 kilos and about 400 grams for the mid pipe. So you're looking at around 1.5 kilos there. So it's, you know, you're losing at least 3 kilos of weight just by doing this cheap mod, and obviously it sounds better too. So I'm just going to whip this off, hopefully without burning myself, so I can show you guys. This is the mid pipe. It's actually designed for a Honda CB500X and CBR 500 I think as well, certain new models. I'm going to put a link, as I said, in the description for this. And cost I think roughly 60 to 70 bucks including shipping. So it's not a perfect fit up. I'll get that out of the way straight up front, but it does fit pretty well. The only problem you might be able to see through the GoPro, this pipe, the header pipe's actually on a slightly different angle. Basically what you could do is drop your tailpipe a bit by making a little bracket to have this mounted a bit lower, and it'll line up perfectly. But I've basically just used the gasket, the stock gasket that's in your stock pipe will fit in there. You can use that, and I just basically tapped it on with a rubber mallet, got it pretty well right, and lined it all up, and it's on as far as it'll go. And I don't know if you can see down there, but it doesn't leak exhaust out of there at all. With that gasket in there, it's fine. But yeah, that's the only issue that I had. Just doesn't quite line up. So as I said, if this pipe was just dropped a little bit, it'd be pretty well spot on, I reckon. But you know, it comes with that clamp there, and you just whack it on and tighten it up, and it's fine. It's not going anywhere. The springs obviously a little bit overstretched. There's a bit too much of a gap between the brackets there, but they do their job. You probably don't even need them on there, but it's fine. The can actually slips over the mid pipe beautifully. It's a perfect fit. The head pipes is all stock. I haven't touched any of that, so just replace this end part. Now as for the baffle in the end here, I have tweaked that a little bit. As you can see, I've put a nut on the end of the little bolt that holds it in there, because they strip out pretty easily. But a little nylock nut on there fixes that. This is the stock baffle as it comes. As you can see, I've rounded mine. I think it just looks a bit better than this shape, and it's easier to put a bung in there when you're washing the bike. Other than that, what I did internally was remove this cap, and I basically slid a solid piece of pipe over this. I'm not sure if these holes or whatever it is sort of give it a bit of a sound. I can't really explain it, but it didn't sound great. But with a solid bit of pipe over that, and that end cap removed, to me that's spot on. It sounds great. It was actually annoyingly loud. You know, if you're just blatting around the bush, it doesn't matter how loud it is, but this is going to be a touring bike. I don't want it to be annoyingly loud on long rides, if you know what I mean. So yeah, just a bit of solid pipe over that, and it's to me, I love it. It's not too loud, but it's got that sweet twin sound still. Now as for the heat shield, whether or not you use the stock one or get one of those armadillos and stick it on there, or just a cheap stainless aftermarket strap-on heat shield, I'd definitely recommend putting something on there. As you can see, just in the quick little test rides I did, the heel of my boot melted on there. So yeah, for me personally, I had to definitely want to get a heat shield on there. And as you can see, the stock one can go on there. It's pretty much the spot on bend for that CBX pipe. So I've just painted this with high temp engine enamel, and you know, you bake it in the oven to set it, so it's pretty well heat proof. Looks a bit better in the black than the painted silver, I reckon, or the aluminium colour, whatever it is, stock. And to mount it, I've got some 45 to 60 mil hose clamps. They're just stainless hose clamps, and what I did was got an M6 bolt, drilled a hole through the hose clamp, through each hose clamp, put a stainless M6 bolt through and a lock nut on there, and that just serves to stop it spinning so that you can tighten up these outside nuts without the whole lot turning. And also the lock nuts there form a bit of a spacer so that it stands off from the pipe a bit. So that worked out really well. I mean, it's not ideal if you've got access to a decent welder and stuff like that. You can just weld some nuts on there, or weld some brackets, or whatever you want to do. But this method worked fine for me. And you know, once this is on there, you can't even see it. So, and just a couple of dome nuts on there. Want to make it look fancy. But I mean, you know, so you're looking at the eBay Acros, you're looking at about $60 for that guy. As I said, about $60 for the mid pipe. You can probably find this stuff cheaper if you hunt around, but that's what I paid. And then, you know, if you want to paint this black, spend $20 on a can of engine enamel. But basically, you know, you don't need any special tools to fit this, and it's cheap. It's a cheap, lightweight, good sounding solution. So, you know, why wouldn't you? As I said, I was initially going to just keep the stock pipe, but when I actually weighed it, I was surprised how heavy the bloody thing was. You know, nearly 5 kilos of solid bloody steel. So this setup looks better, sounds better, is much more lightweight. For a $60 end can, if you drop the bike on some rocks and smash it, buy another one, no big deal. So I just want to say big thanks to there's a few guys that recommended this mid pipe. I can't remember his names right now, but they commented on the video and recommended that pipe, and it's worked out really well. So cheers guys. Anyway, I'm just going to set this camera up here and try and get a bit of footage. I'll just ride around and give you an idea of how it sounds. Hopefully there ain't going to be too much wind noise in the background, but I can't guarantee there won't. But yeah, it sounds similar to the stock pipe. It's just obviously a bit louder. So it's not too bad at all. And when you're just cruising along flat ground and stuff, it's not much louder than stock. When you crack it on, obviously she barks. Definitely louder, but with that baffle adjustment, it's not annoyingly loud to me anyway. But anyway, yeah, hopefully it gives you a bit of an idea. As I said, very easy to do, bolt-on bits, no modification of the bike necessary apart from painting your heat shield if you want to do that. But yeah, there you have it. I haven't bothered retuning the bike or anything. She doesn't backfire anything or anything crazy like that, so I didn't notice a huge increase in power or anything like that. But you know, it is what it is. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video.